Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Rufio Phoenix here at Phoenix Code, and today we're going to talk about a little bit of a different form of psychology called the backwards law. This is a form of dark psychology often depicted in narratives of illuminant, meaning that it is also a form of enlightenment. It is not all enlightenment is so bright and warm. Some is dark, wet, and cold. So I will share with you that the backwards law, while a few inches deeper in the snow, you will be allowed to do less and yet attract abundance. Meaning, for example, if you look at Buddhism and you hear the words, just wait and it will clear, this refers to an issue of a story where the Buddha asked his pupil, his student, to go fetch him some water. The student went to the nearby lake and went to fetch water. The water was muddy and unworthy to drink. He went back to the Buddha and said, and the Buddha asked, "Why did you not bring me water?" The pupil says, "Well, the water was muddy." And so the Buddha said, "We will wait, and by morning," the Buddha then said, "Go get me water," and the water was clean. So it was literally only a matter of wait, bro. You know, you don't have to take everything so seriously that, like, oh, I'm gonna throw my life away on work that's the same thing over and over and over again, repetitively to the day I die, expecting a different paycheck. You know what that's called? Insanity. It's the same thing as saying, I'm gonna vape this and expect it to always be a different flavor, but I'm gonna use the same bottle to do it every single time. Insanity. It's the same thing as, oh my god, it's insanity. The definition of insanity in psychology is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Okay? So, while consistency and ethic is good, some people can't handle having a page dedicated to something like gaming. And quite frankly, that's a them issue. You know? I don't have to do what they want because they'll go out and do it for themselves at some point, which is ultimately called self-sufficiency, you know? But you didn't have to go out and do it at all is the point, because the backwards law implies the concept that what you abstain is what you attract. For example, if I were to, in a real life scenario, go out to the food market and let's say I'm on a diet that says I shouldn't eat any meat. Let's say I went vegan and I went to an area that was serving hot dogs and doughboys, like a carnival or something like that, or maybe a fair. If I went to a fair and I ended up going through something like that, they'd offer me lots of food that I otherwise would be abstaining, right? Or let's say I'm abstaining veggies. Do you know how many people have offered me a salad in the last 3 years of me proactively eating basically protein? Like, you understand that? And that's, yeah, you know, like, people have offered me other things too, and it's not like I don't partake. But, you know, like, then again, you know, the human being's an omnivore, not a carnivore, not a vegetarian, and it's none of the others. It's an omnivore, all eating. You know, damn, you would think that would make sense if I just told you you're basically made up to be the all-eating snake. In other words, the Ouroboros. But most of you would believe that before I told you you're actually descendant of the stars and the cosmos. But you wouldn't want to believe that because self-deification in your brain is fucking wrong, right? Okay, whatever. But in psychology, doing less attracts more. For example, if I put these sunglasses on, then I attract a sense of confidence that is called placebo. Yes? Okay. Well, by doing less, I've attracted and projected more. More is not unstable. More is variable. But more, while uncertain, is attractable by everyone. Everyone, every human being in the world has access to that knowledge and can in fact try and do it. Here's the thing though, you will be waiting for it a while, like 10 years at least. You'll be waiting a decade. Now, I didn't have it that hard. Perhaps I deserved it in a different way than other people have it. After all, I'm not exactly the majority of the world. So, let's go with that, right? All right. So, in psychology, if you think of doing less, or if you abstain on things you could do, likelihood is that if you think about it and abstain it, it will come to you. It does not come to you always healthy. If you are jealous for it, it will come to you as jealousy. If you are envious, it will come to you as envy. If you are hateful and full of rage, you are vengeful, and you will be dealt vengeance in return for karmatic justice. And the universe loves me and does that to people who do shit to me that I don't fucking like. So let's leave it at that. I believe in the universe actually having my back, and it does. So there must be a God. Otherwise, how the hell am I here? So I believe that if you do less and you abstain, you will attract more. Thus is my understanding of the law of attraction through the backwards law. Do not, and it will come to you. Simple as that. I hope this encouraged you to think a little bit about the topics that I've discussed with you for further knowledge. Use of psychology on the public is strictly against the DSM-5. But education is not. Have a good evening. Stay awesome, ninja, drink coffee, be awesome, be excellent. I'll see you in another video.